Hey everybody, it's Alan, and I'm here with Xander again from our Gary's Mod series.
Hi.
And we're doing Devil May Cry, the game from last year that came out, and we are playing Bloody Palace mode?
Yep, it's Bloody Palace mode. It's like a waves of enemies sort of thing. You go up floors to kill specific sets of enemies. Every 20 floors there is a boss.
Cool. Xander's at the helm. He's played this game before. He's a big fan.
I've got like 57 hours on this game.
As you can see. What are those red skulls at the top of the screen?
The red skulls, you get those throughout the campaign. They're like money for upgrades. No.
Okay.
They're money for
like
something.
Right. They're like currency.
For items. But I rarely buy items, so
yeah.
I just have 151,000 of them.
That's a lot. So yeah, you have a skin going on?
I have a skin. I'm using the classic Dante skin.
Cool.
Standard, those, and a gold shotgun. Because
nice.
You got to be a pimp about it.
Yeah, it's hard out there for a pimp, but I mean...
Diamond encrusted piece and all that.
Yes. So let's just jump right in, I guess.
Let's do it.
I never played the entirety of this game. I remember it came out, and I remember it got a lot of good reviews. Xander, you can just go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead.
While I vamp. So you're stabbing dudes. I always knew about the Devil May Cry series as like the crazy combo-based third-person action game, and it's very Japanese and weird. And then they kind of like got really bad around 3 or 4.
Everybody liked 3, nobody liked 4.
Right, because 4 is like partly remake, if I'm not mistaken.
Something you don't play as Dante for as much. But
Oh,
you have another character called Nero.
Oh yeah, it's like a Metal Gear Solid 2 scenario where you're like, "Where's Dante?" Except Dante's a dick.
Yeah, Dante's.
Look at that. Who spins like that?
The guy with the demon sword.
Right. So I remember like this people being like, "Hey, it's a good reboot for once." But I'm not the type of person to like immediately go out and buy a $60 single player action game unless I know it's really good and like has a pedigree behind it. So I was watching a couple videos of it, and I actually played like a demo of it somewhere, and I liked what I played. It didn't run super well, but...
Yeah, I played the demo first on the 360, and it does not run as well as it does here.
Yeah, it runs really well. We have it on Ultra, I believe we did?
Yeah, we got it on Ultra with HD textures and stuff. I'm surprised that it's actually running as well as it does.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I didn't think it would run this well at an Ultra setting.
So yeah, I had a friend who actually played a lot of Devil May Cry, but he didn't even hear about this one, I think. We were just like... So basically, let me go down things that I remember about this game from when it came out. There's a level where you run across news graphics.
Yeah, well... Yeah, they have there's little TVs that show because the news corporation in this game is spoilers, it's controlled by the demons.
Right.
So, you go into the level, and you're running across TVs that show the guy's face.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And then there's one point where you grapple inside of a TV, and that's probably what you're thinking of.
Yes.
Where it's running across actual 3D blocks.
Yeah.
And you fly into the logo.
That's really cool. There's a lot of creativity though on display here.
Yeah, because they got this whole demon world thing that they can mess around with, so they're not that limited. And design-wise, ow. I
was saying even earlier when we were doing tests, there are just certain parts of this game that look really good. Like you were doing a platforming section, I think.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I usually hate third-person platforming in an action game, but in this one it's kind of just all guided because it's the blue dot, and then you got to hold the button on the blue dot and then grapple to it.
You hold a trigger, and then I'm playing with a gamepad, by the way.
Yes.
Because it works better than keyboard and mouse in this case.
Yeah, you just hold the trigger
and then press the X button, Xbox 360 controller. We have a PS3 controller here in case we start doing we start doing local stuff.
Get local.
But yeah, press 2 buttons and then you go across, and that's about it. And
that's
then
cool.
you can do a little flying thing. You get that later in the game, which is also tied to an achievement. Where you have to beat a level in 2 minutes or less, and there's the level where you get that ability. You can't get across without it, so you have to go through this whole other section to get the ability, but once you have the ability you can just jump across. So once you reload the level, then you just... Not doing
These guys are cool.
Used to. They're big and fat, and you preferably use demon weapons on them because they're more strength.
I don't want to make an ex-wife joke. I'm not gonna. There you go. I'm not gonna. Except I technically already did.
Well, you
I hinted at it.
I lost my words.
There you go. That's fine. Hey man, talking while playing games is very hard.
I'm doing.
You're doing all right.
It's affecting my gameplay some.
Yes, it's a skill for sure. A lot of people don't appreciate that, you know. But you're doing really well. I don't know what's
Still
going
getting
on.
S combos.
That was
somehow.
cool. It went slow mo. So are these abilities that you unlock through playing the game?
Yeah, these weapons are all things that you get later. Whoops.
So you can't play this mode until you beat the game, basically.
I don't know. I didn't actually end up downloading it until after I'd already gotten all the abilities and such.
Right.
And I'm not sure if it. I think you should still be able to play it, but I don't know if it has all these abilities unlocked.
Yeah. Because this seems like the kind of mode that wouldn't be fun if you're like doing it with just
the basic sword and pistols.
Exactly.
And you probably can't because it has waves of enemies that are
immune.
Devil trigger a little bit.
Devil trigger. What is this?
Yeah, this is because other Devil May Cry games have this powered up state where he transforms into like a demon thing. In this game, it's a little different. I just used it to regain some health. Like it's your health regen unless you find like health items throughout the world, or enemies will drop health orbs when you kill them. So in this game, it like launches them into the air and turns the screen all weird like that, as you saw.
Super weird.
And then
I feel like you're doing well. I don't know.
I'm not doing as well as I usually do.
You have a double S, a sadistic, as they say.
Apparently, this game is much easier to get combos in than other Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I remember a lot of it being like it's hard to cancel between moves, and there's a lot of animation priority, which is my least favorite thing in games that are about combo getting.
Yeah, it is sort of hard to like there's some moves like if I do like this, I can like do that and then I'll be fine. But I was trying to do just then I was trying to launch a guy into the air, but because I was going through the animation, I couldn't cancel the dodge of that guy.
Animation priority in and of itself isn't necessarily bad because your game needs to animate. You shouldn't just not animate to make sense for the combo, but when you're trying to do like you're putting in inputs and they don't go through because it's like it eventually catches up to you, right? Or at least like you learn the timing, and then you know like you learn like hey, I shouldn't be hitting anything right now because he's in this thing. And then also this is pretty relatively fast. Like you're eventually playing at a level where you're not noticing the speed. But games like Spelunky do that a lot, where it's like your input is more important than the animation, pretty much.
So here you see this guy is flashy red and on fire. You can't hurt him unless you use demon weapons.
Interesting.
And what's good is that this attack doesn't affect you if you're using, like, you're holding down the demon trigger thing. So
the right trigger, right?
Yeah, the right trigger to use your demon weapons. These guys are orange, but they don't really care.
Neutral.
They just indicate, like, what attack they do. They
right.
throw bombs, and if you attack at the right time, then it will reflect. These guys are angel weapon specific, which kind of sucks because angel weapons don't do as much damage. They're more crowd control based weapons.
CC, as the kids call it.
Yeah. But you get around it somehow.
God, I played a lot of World of Warcraft. Sorry, it's just...
Alright.
That was my, like, freshman, sophomore, and I think into junior year of high school. Yeah. Like, that was kind of it. Because it was before I, like, met a lot of my current friends.
Yeah.
So...
Before you had friends.
I say it like that, but that's the sad way of saying it. Like, I mean, I had friends, but, like... We never, like, went over each other's houses and stuff until, I think, junior year. Mm-hmm. And before that, I mean, I had, like, a sim, the guy who I was talking about earlier.
Well, were you talking about him on video, or were you just...
Yes, on this video. Oh. I think so. Yeah, he's the one who I was saying has played Devil May Cry before. Him and I played a lot of World of Warcraft together. And I have been using this app on my phone lately called Time Hop. And it lets you see what you posted to social media a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago today.
Yeah.
And I hit a point, like, in May or whatever, where, like, every day it was, like, trying to get my friend into WoW, but he really hasn't tried it yet. And then got my friend into WoW, and then WoW, now we're both addicted to WoW. Like, just watching the stages develop so quickly.
Alright, I need to focus a little bit more.
You should focus.
Because I was in the process of, like, because I had triple S from doing, like, a gun thing in midair, but then I got hit, like, 2 times and I went down to a D.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to talk about my experience with that game. I wrote a whole article about it, and It's not. I mean, I have the same that like most high school kids did, which is like I played a lot of it, and it was like what I did, and then I realized that I was missing out on other things I could be doing. And the day that I left that game was actually really weird.
Yeah.
Because let's go to 15 actually.
Okay.
So I can do this.
I mean, time's up to you. I'm just sitting.
You're just doing, yeah. So I was playing one day. It was like a weekday, and I did my usual like log in and do my dailies, because you hit a certain point in that game where you're doing what's like daily quests. So they're like infinitely repeatable. You do them every day for reputation, which is like a stat that governs how much gear you can get from certain things. Basically, it's a thing you do every day. It's like what the kids were doing at Endgame back when Wrath of the Lich King was the latest expansion. And I finished all those, and then I was just like, I wanted to do something, and like I was a druid. I was always playing a druid in that game, and I went back to like the spawn zone where you start the game, like the level 1 zone, and I just like looked around for a bit, and I was like, man, I've been here a lot because I started a lot of characters, and like I was like reminiscing about the first time I got it and like played the trial. Whoa, are you?
I froze that guy by repelling his attack, so I was just being
Oh, you're just being fancy.
Yeah.
And I like I had guild chat open because I was in like a pretty big guild at the time, and everyone was doing their own thing. The leader, who was like really nice, was doing some sort of raid, and I was like, guys, I think I'm done with this whole thing.
Right.
And like nobody responded because they were all busy, not because they weren't listening, because they were just literally all busy. And someone was like, we can talk about this in a minute if you want. I was like, no, I'm good. And I remember I kind of for a while regretted it, but I ended it by like, there's a bench right where you start the game.
Yeah.
I sat down on the bench and removed all my gear. I didn't trash it. I think I just left it in my inventory.
Yeah.
And then I just turned into
I'm letting you talk because this is the boss wave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Basically turned it, because you can turn different forms. You have like a bear form, swimming. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's Goma.
It's I forget her name, but they call her a succubus.
I'll suck you, bus.
I'm trying to, because Devil Trigger also increases your damage.
Oh.
So if I
Try and kill her fast.
Yeah. Now I can have her down, so I can just beat on her.
Wow, you just won the whole thing.
I just did the first. That's how quickly I did the first
Jeez.
third of her health. And then it has this little traversal part where I have to go up and disable those cables.
Oh, interesting. Oh, hey, look, platforming.
Yeah.
So this was a level in the game?
Yeah, this was an actual boss fight. This was the first boss fight, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, so basically the end of that story, sorry, real quick, was just that I did that, removed everything, and like, just logged off.
Yeah.
Like in the sunset. I turned into, you have a form called like Moonkin form.
Yeah.
Where you turn into like a big bushy, sort of like animalistic thing with horns. And it's like the form I'm always in, because when you're a caster type of druid. You're always using your caster form. And I just turned into that and sat down and then logged out. I was like, oh, that's it, I'm done. I don't need to ever play again. And then I came back like a year later.
I never got into WoW. I did trials sometimes, but I would never really get out of like the starting areas.
Yeah, that's the thing with MMOs, is like you get into one.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
We got some good subtitles going on right now.
Yes. You disgusting fuck child.
Pull off your head, fist down your neck, all the good stuff.
All that fun.
All that good desecration of the dead that we like, that we promote here on Hotline.
Yeah. Hey, you don't get to decide about
I'm the one
here.
playing the game. You can just.
I can just. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that was a weird time. Like, a lot of people have been saying that WildStar is really interesting, which is the new big MMO that the kids are into. I keep seeing it at PAX. It's like the new Firefall at PAX is WildStar. And it was I think it's still in closed beta or open beta or something. But like specifically the thing, I remember this is from the part of the game that I played.
Yeah, this was like the first level.
Yes.
I think we should leave it at that, because that was 20 waves, beat a boss. Start the next set of waves. Yeah.
I'm looking at Xander all cute.
We can start the next set of waves next video.
Do your little, there you go. Good job. This is, yep.
The advantage of the gamepad.
Yay!
Don't stop it. You're moving the mouse. You're messing with the camera again.
I can't end the video unless you let me move the mouse.
Alright. End it.
I can't. Bye.